In this video, I'm taking a -3-degree hike at Christmas Rocks State Nature Preserve. I'm headed to the Jacob's Ladder Lookout. Historically, this preserve was only open to researchers and people with special permits. But today, it'll just be me out here, creating space to reflect, refuel, and refocus. Let's get into the video. Good morning. Just got some coffee made at the trailhead. It says it's 9 degrees this morning with a real feel of -3. I feel it in the tips of my fingers already. It's just after sunrise, about 7:45 in the morning. I'm gonna enjoy this cup of coffee and then just head down the trail. Where I'm hiking at is called Christmas Rocks State Nature Preserve. It opened in 1973, and historically only researchers and people with special permits were allowed here, due to the fact that state nature preserves are usually a lot smaller than like a state forest or a state park, because they're designed to protect a desired species of tree, plant, land formation, something that is rare. No way. I'm just now getting my first glimpses of the rock formation through the trees. I'm excited to get up there. The early settlers would call this place Christ Rock, and it changed to Christmas Rocks, but my personal opinion is they should change it back. I'm still hanging out here at the Christmas Rocks. Actually, I'm gonna call it Christ Rocks. And I feel bad sometimes going on hikes with people, because I can turn a 2-hour hike into a 5-hour hike pretty easily. But there's a lot to take in. I mean, I like spending time outdoors, but when I see a cool land formation, I want to check it out. I see a lot of birds flying around. There's a good view out here. And these long periods of time create almost like an element of boredom. And I realize that is where I find a lot of creativity. And when I go about life in a panic or just really fast, which I love to do, it seems like that's what I love to do. Because even really good things sometimes, I turn them around and go about them in the wrong way. And I just have to keep reminding myself that as soon as I get in a rush, as soon as I get in almost like going about life in a panic, all creativity goes out the window, and I might as well just be wasting my time, or not even working on anything, or not even coming out here to go on a hike, because it's not going to be enjoyable, and I'm going to miss out on most likely 90% of what I came out here to do and to enjoy. So that's a reminder for myself. Maybe you guys relate as well. Um, it's good to have some boredom. It's good to have activities that are like a slow work, and building almost like that quiet, steady mindset. It is so quiet out here that I can hear my ears ringing. And right on that ledge right there, a bird, a white-breasted nuthatch, landed there, and I tried to get a video of it, but it flew away. There's some sort of theory where when you look at a nice landscape, a beautiful view, of creation, that there is also like a slight amount of like healing that takes place in your brain. And I actually believe that. I think that being out in creation, specifically seeing like amazing views, has a enormous effect on my state of being. Like when I go backpacking, or when I go on a nice hike in the morning to a lookout like such today, I notice a difference even in the next week ahead. So when we talk about withdrawing outdoors, it is an escape in a way if you want to go that route, but I like to think of it as a preparation. There's elements of boredom out here, even though it's awesome, that fuel creativity. We're resting, but it's different. It's almost like we're being refueled, because we can rest at home and that'll help us recover from what we've done. But when we are refueled, we're able to go about the next week in a way that is working hard and honoring God with what we're called to do. There's a big giant satellite tower out there, and it reminds me of something that took place a few months ago. I go to the thrift store, and it's the bins. It's not the ones where you can just like look through the rack and easily go through all the clothes. This is where a new bin comes out. People are like fighting to see what new things in there that they can maybe resell. And at this location, there's a lot of resellers that go there. And I like just going there. I find some different things. I got this flannel from a thrift store a couple years ago, and a lot of my stuff's from the thrift store. I found these actually just on the trail. Besides that, though, I'm talking to someone about Withdraw Outdoors, my outdoor company. And I'm wearing one of the shirts, and mid-conversation, a lady comes up behind me. She's on the phone. She says, like, hold on one sec, like puts her phone down, and she's asking me about my shirt, and like tells the person she'll like call them back. And I end up like, now I'm talking to like 3 or 4 people. And in the midst of it, they hear me talk about like spending time outdoors, spending time with God, you reflecting, refueling, refocusing, the gist of it, the whole reason why I created the brand, enjoying wildlife, creation, hiking. And this lady, she pulls out her phone and she wants to show me a few pictures. So I'm like, sweet, awesome. I'm not sure what she's gonna show me. I'm thinking like they're gonna be from like a national park. I'm thinking state parks, something of like like nature, really outdoorsy type of photo. And she shows me 10 photos, and 10 out of 10 of the photos are taken like basically maybe if you just like walk outside your house in the city and just look up and like take a photo. They have power lines going through the photos, and they're really distracting to me. So I'm like, why did you take this photo? Like in my head, that's what I'm thinking, but she's so proud and like excited, and you could just tell the appreciation she had for these photos versus what I had. And it just made me think like, wow, it really is, it's the perspective we have is like when we're outdoors, even at a park like this one, I do see a few houses. I do see this giant satellite tower, but the perspective we have can really just shape the way we view even spending time outdoors, or taking a picture of a sky and a nice sunset. So I thought back to that just now, and I took a picture of that with the satellite in it. So I'll show you guys that here. This time of the year, it's cold outside, but when I'm out in the woods, one thing it provides is visibility. And I see these pines in the mix of the oaks, but that green color that's filling the woods here, I really appreciate that. When I think of the wilderness, I think of pine trees and I think of mountains. My favorite color is blue, almost like a earthy tone, stone color blue, bluish gray. But my second favorite color has to be that desaturated green that a lot of these pine trees have. I'm on the path back to the trailhead, and after being out here for a few hours, seeing the views, hearing the birds, seeing and being out in creation, I ask myself, why do I want to resort back to living a fast pace, living in a hurry, and almost a panic state? And the truth is I don't know. But what I do know is by being out here doing what I did this morning helps me go against this, because at times it feels like a war. There's always more work to do. There's always more that can get done. And this helps me refocus on those things that actually matter and approach life at a better speed. So maybe this week, experience a little bit of boredom, spend some time outdoors, and as always, remember to withdraw. I'll catch you guys in the next one.